Modern political life often feels like a rigged game, where the citizens are the marks and the House never loses. While we are taught to view the Capitol as the center of a democracy, it currently functions as the corporate headquarters for a political monopoly. Consistent polling data shows that voters across the spectrum universally demand practical solutions for the cost of living, housing affordability, and healthcare access. Yet the actual output we receive is a continuous, exhausting flood of manufactured culture war outrage centered on identity and symbols. The massive gap between what citizens need and what the system delivers is the intended outcome of the design. Political division has evolved into a highly engineered, multi-billion-dollar business model designed to extract profit from citizen tribalism. As long as we view this as an ideological battle rather than a financial extraction, we remain blind to what is being stolen while we argue. In terms of research and development, solving a crisis like housing affordability requires massive capital, years of policy work, and significant political risk. It is a low-margin product. Arguments over symbols and identity cost absolutely nothing to produce, while generating the maximum possible emotional engagement from the consumer base. While voters are distracted by this high-yield outrage, the real business of wealth extraction continues quietly in the background. In 2024 alone, special interests spent more than $4 billion entirely on lobbying Washington to influence the rules of the game. Trillions of dollars have evaporated into consulting contracts through the defense budget, often before a single soldier sees a dollar of that funding. The industry protects this monopoly through gerrymandered districts drawn to be unwinnable, ensuring that the only real competition happens in primaries decided by a tiny fraction of extremists. Keeping citizens angry at each other has proven to be the cheapest, most reliable way for the corporate and political class to secure their own profit. The ultimate threat to this industry is a united populace, because history shows Americans naturally abandon tribalism when a crisis becomes undeniable. Following the 1941 attack on Pearl Harbor, the most divided country in the developed world became one within 24 hours. This instantaneous unity drove the shared sacrifice that ultimately built the most robust middle class in American history. We saw a similar window of national unity immediately after the September 11th attacks in 2001. However, the political machinery moved quickly to exploit that grief, funneling trillions into unaccountable foreign wars while the mourning period was still underway. Even when outsider politicians threaten this lucrative consensus, the machine tends to absorb them, ensuring the donor class wins the term regardless of who wins the election. This state of perpetual division functions as a manufactured cage, because a country fighting itself cannot fight the people actually in charge of its decline. Consider the conservative, furious about government waste, and a political class that hasn't served working people in 30 years. Then consider the progressive, furious about corporate capture, and a healthcare system that bankrupts families. Both are diagnosing the same fundamental rot using different vocabulary. Standing united is a cold mathematical strategy. It is the only way to reclaim the leverage currently holding institutions. Reclaiming that leverage requires a strategic boycott, a refusal to run in the grooves the system cut for us. By organizing outside traditional party structures, citizens can force the machine to accept mechanical reforms. The first step is ending gerrymandering. Making districts competitive instantly evaporates the political incentive for the extremism that fuels the division industry. We must also demand full financial disclosure for all political money, and close the lobbyist revolving door, with legislation that carries actual criminal consequences. Every time institutional power has moved, it was because of broad, disciplined, cross-partisan pressure, like the labor strikes that secured the 40-hour workweek. The people who benefit from your division will never give their power back voluntarily. The game only ends when the players stop following the rules designed to keep them small. The con collapses the moment enough people refuse to be managed. When the middle wakes up, the division holds no more power, and the business model of the machine breaks forever.